Good morning, beloveds. I'm trying to see if I can give you a cameo, but Gabby's not playing. So they're cats. They do what they want, right? She's in the room. I just can't get her to get over here where I can get her on camera. Orange tabbies are supposed to be very laid back, and I have three of them, and two of them are supremely laid back. I have a 7 pound, a 11 pound, and a 14 pound orange tabby. And I have two orange tabby girls, which is pretty rare. The fact that I have two is like super rare, but the fact that orange tabby girls are pretty rare. And so Rita is the 14 pound girl, and she is built like a linebacker. She's kind of squat and broad. She's not fat, but she's just built like a linebacker. And she's super chill, super laid back, and she loves people. She loves nothing more than to come sit on your lap and just purr. And Chico and Gabby and Rita and Chico are siblings. And so Chico's tall and thin, and he's built like a cheetah, and he's the 11 pound, and he's super laid back. He's not real interested in people until all of a sudden he's like in your face going, "Love me, please love me." And then Gabby's a little older. She's 3 or 4 years older. I think, oh no, she may actually be 5 or 6 years older than the other two. And we got her when she was a year old. And we call her the barbarian. She has one volume, and it's loud, so she always sounds like she's yelling at you, no matter how happy she is. She has a very squeaky purr. She always sounds like she needs a little WD-40 in her purr. But she's, I can't pick her up. She will come and sit in my lap. She will come and sleep with me in the bed, but she will not let me pick her up. Tom, on the other hand, can pick her up and carry her around the house. She will not tolerate me picking her up, though. And she's the one I'm trying to get to come over here, so I don't think you're going to get to see her, but you got to hear about my orange tabbies today. Which is totally why you clicked into this, right? Yeah. Alright. So today is September 18th. It is Friday. All things are made out of life. And the Bible quote is, "It is the Spirit that quickeneth." And that is John 6:63. How wonderful to realize that from one formless and invisible substance, everything that is visible comes. This invisible essence of things is the Spirit of life itself. Realizing this Spirit at the center of people and things is silent communion with the divine presence. There is but one life. When we recognize life in others, it is the life in us that is responding to them. If we unify with this life through people, it automatically unifies with us. As we agree with it, it agrees with us. From this recognition, there comes a quickening of our own consciousness. It is written that it is the Spirit that quickeneth. Today, I know that my spirit is quickened as I recognize the same Spirit in others. Realizing the presence of life in all nature, I know that it responds to me. I am one with that which is alive, awake, and aware. There is nothing dead, nothing stagnant, nothing inactive. In all, through all, and around all, I realize one presence. There are diversities of things, but the same Spirit. All right. All things are made out of light. One of the core teachings, I would say, of Science of Mind is that all things are made from divine substance. All things, all beings, all, whether they are animate, inanimate, living, or not basically material is idea, spirit, idea in form, which means that we are all similar. We're all made of the same stuff. We're all the same. Our exterior is different, but on the interior, we're all the same. And that is, it's a core. It's a core of who and what it's a core of who we are, a science of mind. It's a core of the centers of spiritual living. It is one of the reasons why we are so involved in social justice, because we believe that all beings, not just people, but all beings are made of the same divine substance, and that we have a responsibility to care for all beings, the earth, our fellow human beings, animals, we have a responsibility, the land, the oceans, we have a responsibility of taking care of them, because we're all the same substance. We're all made from God. We are all made from God. That all of this is the outpicturing of God having an experience. So how wonderful to realize that from one formless and invisible substance, everything that is visible comes. Idea made form, spirit made form, material life is spirit made form. This invisible essence of things is the spirit of life itself, and he uses the capital L. So this invisible essence of all things is the spirit of life itself. That's code for this is God. Recognizing that this spirit is at the center of people and things is a silent communion with divine presence. So one of our spiritual practices is exactly that. It's looking in the eyes of another person or another living being, or contemplating a plant, a flower, a tree, and feeling that divine energy and recognizing it, entering into communion with it, recognizing that this is another living being, and this living being, or even, if you want to contemplate inanimate objects, this being is an idea that God had, that spirit had, in form. One of the most powerful exercises we do is to look into each other's eyes and see God looking back at us. Especially if it's somebody that we have had difficult interactions with. It's easy with people that are loving and kind and compassionate, and it's harder when you have had a moment with that person. And you know what kind of moment I mean. But that is a spiritual practice. It's a spiritual practice that any of us can do. There is but one life. How many Science of Mind ministers have you listened to that start their treatments out, or practitioners who start their treatments out? There is one life, one power, one presence, and I like to say one love. That's my addition. But we all start. A lot of us start. There is one life. It is a core of our teaching. There is one life, and it is a life that we all share. When we recognize life in others, it is the life in us that is responding to them. And that's why I'm saying the word communion. So it's like the life that we carry around right here, that's what is recognizing the life in the other. And going, wait, that's my life too. That's my life too. That I recognize that life. That life is the same life that I carry within me. That spark in them is the same spark that I carry in me. As we unify with this life through people, it automatically unifies with us. We're cooperating. That's the best way to say it. We are cooperating with life when we unify. It's like we're all in this together. We're all in this together. And I'm going to use the word need. We need each other because we are all life expressing itself, making this world the wonderful, amazing plethora of that it is. As we agree with it, it agrees with us. And it goes back to the word cooperate. When we unify with it, when we cooperate with it, when we agree with it, everything just works better. It's like, can we find a way to work together towards life? We want to work towards life. We want to work towards happiness. We want to work towards joy. And if we can all work together, we'll get a whole lot further, a whole lot faster. Because that's what spirit does. It trends towards life. From this recognition, there comes a quickening of our own consciousness. A quickening. And all I can think of is the Highlander. Which literally, if you go back and watch the movie, was it's a movie about taking spiritual power from each other. Which we don't have to do. We don't have to take spiritual power from each other, because when we work together, we multiply that spiritual power that we have. I by myself can do amazing things, but I working with you can do so much more. And that's the power of cooperation. That's the power of life recognizing life, where life multiplies itself through cooperation. It is written that it is the Spirit that quickeneth. When we recognize the power that we are using doesn't come from us, and more importantly, doesn't have to come from us. We recognize that the power comes through us, and it's inexhaustible. Think how much more we can do. We are not using our own power. We are using a power that is coming through us. We are using a power that is freely granted to us. And that's the quickening. And when we cooperate with one another, so much more can get done. Today, I know that my spirit is quickened as I recognize the same spirit in others. Realizing that the presence of life is in all nature, I know that it responds to me. It's like, okay, and this is, he has said this the entire time. When we become aware of it, we can make use of it. I am one with that which is alive, awake, and aware. So when you are in that place of, okay, I'm not so sure about this, there is one of your power statements. I am one with that which is alive, awake, and aware. Do I want to be alive? Do I want to be awake? Do I want to be aware? Let me unify with that spirit. There is nothing dead, nothing stagnant, nothing inactive. I love denials. In all, through all, and around all, I realize one presence. And he capitalized both of them. Both of them. One presence. I realize one presence. There are diversity of things, but the same spirit. So, all right. I'm looking at the mission today. Well, okay. Let's go at the beginning of treatment. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to recognize the life in others is the life in us, and to cooperate with one another. But that's a given. So our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to recognize that life within, to recognize the same life within us is the life within others. It is to look in the eyes of another being and see God looking back at us. It's never a small mission, but it is always a very doable mission, because the power does not come from us. It comes through us. All right. I'm going to move into the process of my day. I am going to suggest that you do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself today and every day. And today, that loving and kind and compassionate thing can be looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing the eyes of God looking back at you. Seeing the eyes of love looking back at you. It's a suggestion. Do what you want. All right? It is a really nice day out there if you're here in South Houston, or, South Texas. So please feel free to open your windows. Get some fresh air. Do something that engages your mind and your body. Open the windows of your soul and allow that breath of heaven to remind you you live in heaven now. Oh, and remember that you are a beloved child of God in whom Spirit is well pleased always and forever. And Reverend David will be on with you around 5, and I will be back with you around 9 a.m. because it is Saturday. And so that means squirrels in the park. Yay! I know, I'm ridiculously excited, but the squirrels in Myers Park are, they're special. They're special. I enjoy it. So have a wonderful day today. Recognize that life, all of the life around you, comes from the same source, and you did too. Have a wonderful day, beloveds.